Hi, Tarun Freestone coming to you live wherever you are out there in the world, bringing you perspectives on XRP updates and upcoming XRP ETFs. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. If you wish to purchase crypto products, please seek a financial advisor's assistance and be careful because buying crypto has risks. Let's get into it. Today's price is $2.43. We are hours away from what I understand to be the go live date. It's actually effective from November 14th at we're sort of in Australia here at 9:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday 5:30 p.m. for my American brothers and sisters. Trading will begin Australian time Friday, November 15th at 1:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and it will begin Thursday 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time in the States. The price at the moment is hovering around $2.43. Let's get into it. We have a lot to cover today. To do, of course, with Canary's ETF being the first one out the gate. So thanks to Eleanor Terrett for putting this one up. It's happening, guys. We've been here for 6 years, guys. 6 years, holding all the way through. Some people have been here for a decade. So shouts to the OGs in the space. We will have more information as it breaks here first, but the Canary Capital ETF is a highly reputable company. They have done multiple ETFs of various assets. This is the Exchange Traded Funds active pre-launch page. You can see here the ticker symbol of XRP belongs to Bitwise, and XRPC is the Canary Capital beneficial in ETF. We also have the volatility shares, T-Rex. I love that name. ETF opportunities are 2 times long. However, Eleanor Terra did clap back on one of their statements where they were like, "Oh, it's not the first. I think this is it actually." And she did clap back saying, "Sorry guys, but you have a diluted product, and this is the real deal Evander Holyfield." My Americans will know that one. The real deal Evander Holyfield, and you have nothing on this one. This is 33 act. Yours was a 40 act with partial. I've discussed the idea. Look, we've got people in the community such as Jay Claver saying it's going to do 3 digits. That may be true. I would love to see that. I have my own take on it. My hot take will be basically breaking down what it could do in the next 30 days based on the MasterCard announcement and inflows of around 4 to 7 billion. I've done a thought exercise here, which would, argue taking out some of the heads of accounts and, whittling down the circulating supply to 10 billion. You would see that it's actually a potential increase of maybe 30% locked up, and we'll have a read through that in a second. So that's my thought exercise. Encash here with a good reminder that this is all at the backdrop of and basically go live for November 22nd, which is really good for the ISO 222. We've got Bank XRP's comment here. I'm gonna post whatever I'm filming today up on that one. So just quickly jumping in on this. This is the last chance for them to opt out of inflow translation by 19th of December this year to avoid charges, and ensure you have tested usage identifiers change that were included to the SR25 upgrade, as messages as old versions will not work after the 22nd. So this is like deadline for the ISO 222 compliance of the messaging layer, which we know XRP is already fully aware of. I'm jumping around a bit here, but I just wanted to touch back on these. So we've got the coin shares, we've got the Amplify XRP 3-monthly return, ETF opportunities on T-Rex Osprey. We've got the Franklin Templeton as XRPZ ticker symbol, and we have, I think that is okie dokie. Now let's dive into Yeah. The Senate has drafted a bill to finally give the CFTC clear authority over crypto and keep the SEC out of crypto. This is brilliant. Love it. Jay Claver with the facts again. This one was, I was watching this on the train. SoFi, $2 million. They'll back you up, the government. And SoFi is the one that you can hold it with. $2 million worth of crypto. This is a massive step forward. We have a first nationally chartered bank in the US to offer Bitcoin and crypto trading. So let's have a listen.
And a big milestone, reverses the course of time.
It does.
We've wanted to be a one-stop shop for all your financial services needs, and one of the holes we've had for the last 2 years was in cryptocurrency, the ability to buy, sell, and hold crypto. We were not allowed to do that as a bank. It was not permissible. But in March of this year, the OCC came out with an interpretive letter that it's now permissible for banks like SoFi to offer cryptocurrencies. So this morning we're launching, as the only national bank, the first and only national bank, the opportunity to buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana.
So I was going to ask, are we just talking about 3 for now?
We'll expand well beyond 3. It'll be a pretty broad assortment. We try to differentiate on being fast, having broad selection, great prices, ease of use. So we'll try to give members, SoFi members, as much selection as they would like.
And what's the difference between going through you and going through Coinbase or going through Robinhood or somebody else?
Why don't
There's
they
a
just do
couple of
XRP?
really big differences. First, we're a nationally chartered bank, which means we have the infrastructure, the processes, the financial conditions that provides the safeguards that a consumer would expect from a bank, which is going to allow us to scale responsibly. The second thing is, because we are a one-stop shop, you can do all your banking, checking, and savings at SoFi, your borrowing, and your investing, and now crypto. And one of the unique things about that is when you come to SoFi and fund your crypto investments, you'll fund them in a SoFi checking and savings account. That checking and savings account's deposits earn interest.
Say that again. You're going to fund it with crypto?
You're going to fund
your checking account.
You're going to fund your checking account with cash.
Okay.
And then when you buy Bitcoin or Solana or Ethereum, the money will come straight out of your checking savings account. So when you're not putting cash to work, it's not sitting in an account that earns no interest, and it's not sitting in an account that's not insured. So the money will sit in an FDIC insured account. Up to $2 million is what we offer.
Crazy.
And when you buy, it will instantly withdraw from that account and send it to the marketplace.
Oh my God. So awesome. I cannot wait to see that down here in Australia for us as consumers. We also would love to get our hands on some of the credit cards which Uphold are doing at this point. I'll just go to
Nice to see you,
my
sir, in
own
person.
personal
Good to see you as well.
Okay, so what's going on here? This is a big deal.
profile.
Yeah, this morning,
big deal for you.
it is a very
Check out one of the, I've just said straight up to Uphold, please let me quit my job and come to you, because this is cool. The idea is you get 6% back in XRP on everyday purchases. I would be signed up today for that. So that one is going to be the title, I think, of this video for sure. I've also done a Finance Bro video, which I find quite interesting. It's a nice thought-provoking little thing about if the Ripple Bank National Charter Services essentially replaces the Fed. I also tip my hat to other influencers in the space. Jay Claver sat down with Nancy Beaton, US President Uphold. Give that one a watch. At this one, yeah, balls of diamond. That's it. This is, I saw this doing the rounds. I am invested in hard assets, and these two did come from that particular bullion exchange, ABC Bullion Exchange in Martin Place in Sydney. And it's just, don't be the herd. Don't buy at the top. And now today, merely less than a month later, 12th of the 11th when I'm recording, there's no lines. So it would be better to buy now that we've had a massive candle and, you know, things are on the way back up. You'll be able to reclaim that quite confidently over the next few months. So just don't be a part of the masses. Be a wolf. I will be posting my response to Bank XRP here, and I will be diving into it now. I watched. I don't really watch much of Lewis's stuff, but I'm going to give that one a watch later. It's good to keep ideas rolling around. Okay, let's run through my idea. Recalculating impact with a $10 billion float. So Bitcoin ETF first 30 days revised for comparison. Bitcoin stats for context. So circulating supplies, 19.6 million Bitcoin at that stage. The first 30 days of inflows for the Bitcoin ETF was 9 to 10 billion. So that was about 2.3% of all circulating supply was, bought. Let's talk about the XRP combined first 30-day impact. We're trying to reference it against what we know XRP achieved, and I don't expect anything close to Bitcoins, but let's go with $3 to $5 billion of ETF inflows. Mastercard RLUSD liquidity requirements 100 to 200 million in the first 30 days. Market maker pre-positioning of 1.2 billion. Total is 4.1357 to 7.2 billion. Let's say with only 10 billion tradable at current price of $2.50, market cap floats 25 billion. First 30 days buying is 4 to 7 billion. That's 16 to 28% of the entire tradable float. Now, yes, we can say in the first month they made dump a billion on the market of XRP. That still isn't going to have material effect on the float. 10%. So 10% of 16% or 28% is lost. So you're talking 3% mostly, if at most. Compared to Bitcoin, Bitcoin ETFs was 2.3% of the circulating supply. So maybe Jake is right. Maybe we're going to see $100. That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? I mean, the sky is the limit. I would love to see that. I'll cut to the chase here. We apply the Mastercard RLUSD settlement impact. If Mastercard settles 5% of their 9.7 trillion annually through RLUSD, then that's 485 billion annual settlement volume. That's quite a large amount. If 5% of Mastercard settlements were done in RLUSD, I think 1%, as per my previous videos, was a much more tangible amount. You've got also required infrastructure liquidity, conservative estimates of 10 to 15% of daily volume in pools. Daily volume is 1.35 billion. Liquidity locked up is 135 to 200 million XRP. At $2.50, that's 54 to 80 million XRP locked in RLUSD pools for 5% of all of Mastercard's credit settlement. Scale that up, Visa, Mastercard, Amex, and others, they do $30 trillion in card volume a year. So we've got also the burning mechanism, which is, if you want, I'll post this down in the in the description as a sort of clickable feature, I guess, or just as free text. And you can read through that. I want to get to the point and the punchline because I want to keep things a little bit punchy. It's kind of late here. Comparative supply shock analysis. Let's talk about the long-term structural shifts. Where's my price impact? Here we go. $10 billion price impact. Conservative scenario. 30% of float locked, removed from supply, circulating supply over 2 years. Effective supply, 7 billion XRP. Demand increases 300%. So that's basically what we've seen to get to $2.50 and $3. So we would probably see a 4 to 6 multiplier from $10 to $15. I think that's way more tangible than $100. Look, I don't have $200 million of XR. I don't have 200 million XRP under management like Jay Claver. So his perspective is more tangible to reality than mine in some aspects. I just feel that being conservative and understanding how long it's taken, and yes, we do see parabolic curves go up and to the right. However, we have to stay grounded in fact. I have a big belief in market manipulation. I have a big belief in the trajectory of Ripple and the way in which it functions as a mediator. I understand now. I'm not a huge big fan of the Riddlers and that part of the community, but where there's smoke, there's fire, I always say. So I do acknowledge that there is the opportunity to see a $100 XRP in the next 30 days. I think that a $5, $6 XRP is way more on the cards. And then by the end of this year and even next year, we could see XRP to $15 comfortably. 9 months, $15? Sure. Anything's possible with enough ETF inflows and with the right catalysts that need to break for that. So an aggressive scenario would be 50% of the float locked up, which if things do go the way that, Trump is wanting, and there's been a lot of videos that have been doing the rounds on X. I have been watching Trump talk about, we've got to win. He was at the Arlington Cemetery today for the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, I believe, on Veterans Day. So respect out to all our veterans there. In Australia, we have Remembrance Day yesterday. On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, we will remember them lest we forget. And we wear a little red poppy for the First World War, which America also was involved in. We've been together for a long time, us and the Yanks. So, look, respect out to all our servicemen and to my friends who are also in the armed forces. Thinking of you guys as well. Thank you for your service. So, let's keep going with the aggressive scenario. The 50% of float locked removed over 3 years. Effective supply is 5 billion now of XRP, down from 10 billion. The demand increases 500% in the next 2 to 3 years. There it is, $20 to $30. So talk about not killing the golden goose, just holding. And in the next 3 years, you will definitely see a $30 XRP if an aggressive scenario occurs and we are not able to dilute the market with $1 billion. And like I explained, over the counter settlements and with what David Schwartz recently said regarding having the ability to sell the account to somebody at an undisclosed amount and not having the XRP hit the open market, that will not affect the price. That will not dilute it. It's not dumping in that sense. It's organizing and restructuring banks to be able to commoditize this and use XRP in their infrastructure, in their liquidity pools. And I don't think that that's going to have any ramifications to XRP's price. So the moonshot obviously is, 37 to 62, and then it starts sounding a little like Jake Claver. I think we'll leave it there. I wish you all the best, and yeah, I'll catch you on the flip side.